All right, we are going to be watching Vespidry, who's playing Reinhardt on Masters 4, and they are a one trick. This is on King's Row. I believe this is on PC. Hello, I play the Reinhardt hero because I have the mechanical skill of a coconut. I would like advice on how to push without getting blown up, how to improve my game sense, how to carry my matches, etc. Most games I manage to push the enemy back a good amount, but then I just get focused and die instantly. I must be missing some tanking 101 or something. So I'm actually not going to do a full review. This is going to be the short format. So if you want a full review, somebody else will hopefully help you out, or you can ping me separately. I'm going to focus specifically this video on why do you get blown up, right? So we're only going to be covering the offensive section, and we're going to covering each one of your deaths. Like some of your pushes are fine, and we're not going to cover those because they end up working out fine, and it's going to be a lot more time consuming to cover the entire thing. So I'm just going to focus on just primarily the things where it goes wrong, right? Try to explain, hey, why did this go wrong? So let's start right here. Coming out, and the number one thing that I notice is that you are, as you mentioned, mechanics are not your strong suit. So in the Rein mirror, it's very important to get ahead of the enemy Rein in terms of swings, right? And that's a really good determinant as to figure out who is the better Rein. So for example, if you get one swing in and they get in two before you disengage, then they are better than you mechanically. And there's a lot of different mechanisms that go into that, but I think at a simplest form, it comes down to two things. Number one, understanding when I can aggress versus when I have to back off, and number two is understanding exactly how far my hammer swing goes. Okay, those are probably the two most important things to understand how to get ahead in swings. If you're simply matching in swings, you're just not getting enough value. You want to get ahead in swings. So we're gonna come up here. You could have gotten a swing in there, by the way. So you see how that swing misses? That swing should not have missed. You either should have stepped up more or snapped your camera more sideways. And I don't know if you know the camera trick. I feel like you sort of know the camera trick to swing sideways to extend your reach, but it's not entirely clear to me. So that swing right here. So I want to run it like real slow here. See, that one should have been a hit, right? That one he barely misses you, but you should have hit him back instead of fire striking. Now you trade, so you're 1 for 1. I would have gotten a second hit in right there. Right? So you dodge that one, great. So you kind of get booped back there, but you should be going for the Rein right now. Forget the turret, right? Just focus on trading with the Rein positively. Somebody else will kill the turret sooner or later, and then you're going to end up dying. So Rein mirror besides, because I'm not going to focus too much on the mechanics, I'm just like highlighting that. I'm probably not going to talk about it again after this. Is why do I die here? So you're doing the correct thing, which is I got coach people to take the inside corner of this point. Right? Don't do anything fancy. Don't try to loop around the statue. Don't flank to the side. Don't try to go to the hotel. Like if you're playing like standard brawl tank, just take this inside corner. And if you take this inside corner, eventually their team will collapse. That's all you have to do. All right. Now, as a general rule for Rein, once you don't have any armor, you should not be fighting. As a general rule, because of how quickly you can die once you have no armor. Okay, so your armor is about half your health. So an armor is a good candidate. Like once you have very little armor, like 50 or less, you should already be like, hey, I already need to have a plan to have not be under a fire right now. You keep pushing despite the armor. Okay, well actually you get healed up again, then you go. The next thing I want to talk about here is when you play against an Ana. Right, one of the best tips I got from Overwatch 1 is if you're playing Rein, against Ana, treat all of her cooldowns like ultimates and track all of them, right? Both sleep and grenade can both kill you as Rein very, very, very easily. So be very careful about how aggressive you get until sleep and grenade have both been forced, because both of them, again, can kill you really fast. So you're going to aggress here, right? Again, you get purpled right now because you're not tracking grenade. So for me, I would not play this close. So you're doing what I call chest to chest, right? Don't play this close to the enemy Rein if you know they have grenade. You want to play at like maximum range of your swing. That way, if you do get grenaded, you can back out really easily and go around the corner. Instead, you are too close, which means now the Rein can non-stop swing on you, then you get slept, and then you get killed. That is why you die here, right? So you don't track Ana cooldowns, you eat both of them, but not only do you eat them in the worst possible position, which is very far forwards. Okay? If you, instead of being right here, were 3 meters back, this is not a big deal at all. Grenade, great. Walk all the way back into the corner, cool, right? If the Rein tries to commit, we countercharge and then we fight it out, right? 50-50 chance of winning that fight, okay? Because your Ana has a grenade too, presumably at some point in time she might use it, okay? So it's not like, it's not that big a deal, but you getting grenaded and slept out in the open, that's what gets you killed. All right. So next one we're going to cover is 140. So this is your next push. All right. So again, good. You missed that swing right there, which changes mechanics. You kill the turret. You're going forwards. You get the hit. I think that's a bad fire strike, but whatever. And you notice right now your Widow's already dead, so you should already know this is a 4 and 5 situation. I would already be slowing my push and just trying to control the corner. Number one. Now, notice I'm pushing. I have not confirmed that grenade or sleep is definitely sleep's been used. Grenade's still available, so I'm in the open right now in a 4 and 5 situation, which is dangerous. Pharah now kills Cassidy. Why am I pushing into a 3 on 5 when my spawn is 10 seconds away? Just chill right now, right? Like, all you have to do is just go back. I know the Rein's low, but you have no chance of killing him with both supports alive. And then you keep pushing, right? Because there's no DPS to keep the Pharah in check, she just kind of ignores you, goes, kills your support, right? And then it's just you and Ana, but now it's a 2 on 5 situation, which is not winnable, right? 2 on 4 situation. 2 on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 on 5. So, like, this is it's impossible to win here. Like, you just shouldn't be pushing right now. You need to keep track of the kill feed. Like, that's a really critical part of being Rein, is keep track of the kill feed and then be like, hey, look, can we win this if we are down and I have short spawn? I don't need to be forcing this. Just literally go back. Okay, you just feed ult charge for nothing. You did bait out Shatter, but then again, you also got nanoed, so it like is basically an even switch or even trade. All right, now's a good moment in time to take a break and look at the supports. Okay, you were running Ana and Moira against Ana and Mercy. So for starters, in a mirror matchup, you really have to understand like the supports are huge at determining who's going to win this fight. You have twice as much healing as the opposing team. Okay, Moira heals a ton, so much healing. Like, you get so much healing. So as long as you don't die to purple, right, anti-grenade, you're fine. You're gonna win the fight. If you, like, just through attrition, you will burn them down over time. Their Mercy has to pocket their Pharah, who has to get a ton of value and get picks, otherwise you're gonna eventually steamroll the Rein. So literally, as long as you don't die to anti-grenade, you will win the fight, number one. Number two, you don't need to rush, especially because Coalescence is one of the fastest farming ultimates in the game, and their team doesn't have a defensive ultimate, which means if Moira pops Coalescence and just aims at the Mercy or aims at the Ana, their whole team will collapse. So again, you're really forcing these like tough fights where like you see your Moira's at 99, okay? Like if you instead had never died here and just chilled and came back, right? Waited for your 2 DPS to respawn, your Moira with an ultimate, you go in, pop Coalescence, win the fight. It's over. As long as you block Shatter, great, you're good. You don't even have to swing, right? If you just held your shield up, you probably win that fight. So very, very important to think about how your supports impact the fight, especially in a Rein mirror matchup. Okay, so let's talk about 238. So for some reason, you decide to go up the stairs to the right. This is a huge waste of your time. It is not accomplishing anything. You go to this flank, which is a really bad idea because how the heck are you going to get healed in here? Only your Moira is here. Your Ana's like, what is happening? I do not agree with this play at all, but it sort of works, but whatever. So you're going to do some fighting here. Again, a lot of stuff is going wrong right now, but I don't want to talk about it. So, at this moment in time, if you're going to go for the Shatter, you had the opportunity to Shatter too, right? Torb plus Ana. You miss because you could have gone slightly to the left and you would have gotten the Torb and the Ana. You see how much extra space you had on the right? Like, you could have gotten both here. You only get the Ana. As a result, the Torb is still alive, and he does a ton of damage to you, and then you're going to die. But, even then, you still could have lived here. So you kill the Ana, Coalescence is popped. You have 248 health, the Rein has missed his charge into the wall. You know that because you heard the charge when you were going in. Right? So, listen. Charge. See, you hear the charge right now, and I understand maybe you want to counter charge to stun it, but like, if the charge was going to hit you, it would have hit you by now because he's that close to you, right? So if I understand I'm not charged yet, then I'm definitely not being charged anymore. He missed. He misses right now. You should just flipped right here, held your shield, and then walked all the way into the corner. And then waited for more Coalescence to eventually heal you because your anti-nade's going to expire in like a second. And then you would have been totally fine. Easy win. Right? But again, you die because you just, I don't know if you're trying to countercharge or you just get impatient or whatever ends up being. Just don't countercharge without looking. It's just a generally bad idea, right? Just hold shield, get healed by Coalescence, you're fine. Okay, let's look at 328. So, you're super low, right? Again, you're 330 right now. As I said, golden rule, don't push without armor. You don't have armor right now. You're still pushing, you get grenaded, and then you die. This is another like very sloppy, unforced error, right? All you had to do was just sit here and just swing at the air, and you're fine, and you're gonna win this fight because you have short spawn. Remember, you have short spawn here, so like the longer this fight goes on, the better it is for you because people will respond. They'll come back in, right? Your Cassidy will come back in way before their Mercy's gonna come back in, and you're gonna win the fight. There's no need for you to be pushing this corner right now. This is a really, really bad time. 402. So, shatter. Let's talk about shatter. Right? You have to read the opposing Rein shatter and block it. Okay, or at least make him use it in a not a great situation, not a super advantageous situation. Right? If he wants to solo shatter one person, fine, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, but you can't let him shatter your whole team. So you shattered 2 fights ago. You have not seen him shatter since, which means he has shatter. That's very, very important. In general rule, is Rein's build shatter every other fight. Okay, for sure he has shatter right now. You step up, you go to the side of him, he reads that and just shatters your backline. As a general rule, do not get on Rein's sides, period. I think this is a really, really bad mistake. It's not like you need to, right? You can, all your attacks go through shields anyway. There's no need for you to be going over here. You want to be staying in front so that he can shatter and you can potentially block it. Unless you also have shatter and you believe that you can counter shatter here and win the fight. That is the only scenario that you should be doing this. You certainly don't have shatter. Your backline gets shattered. You still manage to pull this off, but I'm just saying that this is pretty sloppy. It's actually quite lucky that you end up winning this fight. So, let's talk about 721. So you've already capped second point. Nothing really interesting happened there. You're swinging. You're 335 health, okay? So you don't have armor, which means you should be very careful while pushing this corner. You decide to go past the corner, and you get instantly melted. Because as I point out, again, without armor, you can die really quickly. That's number one. Number two, your team is not here, right? Your team is really far back. You consistently lose track of where your team is. And that's another big reason why you end up dying. You just have to slow down, wait, get healing, push with full health. Right? It's really that easy. The other thing you don't do is you don't do third-person shield peeking, right? Put up your shield, hold down left mouse button, spin your camera 180 degrees, and then you can see where your team is. So I will also link to that techniques guide because it feels like, as you say, it feels like you're missing that technique. All right, 743. So you're pushing the corner. Right? You do have armor now, but there's 5 people here, and you immediately have to pull back. Now you're pushing again. You charge. Right? This is the time for you to continue aggressing. Right? Dragon is off. Coalescence is on. Right? Dragon's currently separating the team. Coalescence is up. You charge the Rein out of position. Just keep swinging here. If he charges you, so be it. Right? I think it's more important there to potentially get the kill on the Rein, right, with him out of position. But here's what it is. So you're gonna back up right now. And then you start swinging this wide corner despite the fact that you're not, like, you don't have any ranged attacks. There's no reason for you to ever go wide of a corner. Play tight to the corner. Okay? So, you start going. And then stay on the Rein. So, does the Rein have shatter? He does. Right? Am I tracking the shatter? I most certainly am not. Again, I didn't even see you try to deal with the shatter. Like, it doesn't appear to me that you're literally thinking about shatter at all. And you're not going to be able to climb out of Masters without thinking about shatter. Right? Assuming you play enough Reins. So this just can't happen. Like you just literally don't even think about it at all, which is very problematic. All right, and the last one we're going to cover is 856. So you're trying to push right now. Definitely a hectic moment in time. Actually, I want to back up a few more seconds. Okay, so you move behind car for cover. Bastion is shooting. So right now you hear Bastion shooting. And you're behind cart and not taking damage, which means he's shooting at somebody. I need to be looking right now to see, hey, you have plenty of shield right now. You have 1,000 shield. Does anyone on my team need shield? Your Cassidy does. Are you shielding? You are not. You need to be figuring out right now, does somebody need shield? I mean, this is a mistake of the Cassidy go this far out to the side, but you needed to shield right there the rest of Bastion's cooldown before you started swinging again. So that's a mistake on you. And at that point, there's basically no way to win this fight, right? Like, you're going to get nanoed here, but there's like not a lot that you can do with this nano. It's a bad nano. And then, they have trance, etc. You're down one person. It's impossible to win. Okay, so, recapping. Right, again, not a full review. We're just talking about why do you get melted. Number 1, don't push without armor, as a general rule. Number 2, track Ana cooldowns. Number 3, when you do swing a corner, make sure to swing with your whole team. I think that's a pretty good list. As just like top 3 points, I think those 3 points are enough to significantly improve your gameplay. All right, I'm going to stop there.